Well, welcome back. So, last night, coming back from Revved Up, where I'd had a nice cup of tea, and I sort of thought, oh, don't think I can see my clock illumination anymore. I always ride with the headlamp on. Could see the headlamp on some road signs, but no clock illumination. Well, some of you might know I've just put LED kit in this a while ago. So I was thinking, okay, maybe there's some sort of a problem there. Anyway, got back, had a quick look, and it's even worse than that. So I have no side light, I have no clock illumination, I have no rear tail lights. I do, however, have headlamps, high and low beam, and flash, and I have brake lights. So I've had a look at the book of words, and I'll show you in a minute. We'll trace through. I think I know what's wrong. The other thing I have done is I've quickly just changed the fuse, just to make sure. That didn't make any change either way. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to have a look at the potential problem. I think I know what it is, and it's a little bit unusual. Not the fault, but the whole scenario. So I'm going to finish my brew, and then we'll get cracked in and have a look and see what's going on with the bike, do a bit of testing and get it fixed. Catch you then. So first thing, ignition on. No brake light. That's really good, because that's kind of telling me if we don't have brake lights, we've got a problem from the fuse box down to the first connection. Here's our fuse box. Here's our fuse box legend. Fuse number 2, tail. Right, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to find a suitable earthing point on the bike. You can't see this, but there's a pretty good earth. And then we're going to check to see with the ignition on, do we have power to either side of this fuse holder. That side we don't, no voltage virtually. This side we've got 12.3, 12.29, 28, yeah. So we know we've got power coming up to this fuse, which is a really good thing. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go on to impedance or ohms, and we're going to look to see if the other side of the fuse is a direct short to frame. We have nothing there, so that's good. That means we've got power to our fuse and we haven't got a direct short on the system. Okay. But the fuse that came out of the bike is good. We've got electricity going through it, very little resistance, so we can get that one fitted back in. Even with the fuse checked out, we're still not getting any rear light. Not that you can see that, but I can. And no side lights and clock illumination. So, where does that leave us? Red wire coming out of our fuse. We go along, brake light switch, but we're not getting any power. And this red wire doesn't go anywhere else. Could we be looking at something as simple as maybe the connector from that fuse box? Maybe that's the next place to investigate. So one of the things you can do sometimes, although I don't know if we're going to be lucky enough, yep, unclip the fuse box, and so I don't smash my very expensive phone. Oh, ho, 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 ho. That does not look good and healthy. Can you see that, folks? I have a nasty feeling we might have some wiring loom issues there. Or could that just be black paint? That could just be crap, but the brown wire there looks a bit kinked. I think the best thing we can do, let's get this disconnected. And I don't know about you guys, but I can also smell a little bit of petrol, which is always a slightly worrying thing when you're dicking about with a lot of energy. Okay, there's a little bit of corrosion on the electrics. And I've got a feeling, looking at it, that there's a lot of crap on the box. They don't actually look too bad. Let's just check the book of words and see what's wire colour that is. So we're looking at a red and white wire, which we do not have. This we do have. And there is a red and white wire looking in the wrong place. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to try and clean some of this black crap off it. There's a little bit of brake cleaner. So we've got that brown wire, looks to be fairly well pinched. That bottom one. We can pull our fuse again. Right, so what we should see is from the pin that side to that bottom pin should give us no resistance, very low 0.2, that's a straight through path. So certainly through the fuse into that pin we're good. So we've kind of ruled out our fuse board. I think the next job is, this is quite grotty and horrible. I'm just going to give that a clean down on the bench. It's had something sprayed in it. I think it's had like a waterproofing agent put in it. Not particularly keen on it. I don't think it's necessary, and we'll just give it a clean up. One fuse board. You see that sort of shininess to that? That's some kind of a yucky stuff. I think this time I'll use a cloth rather than paper towel. Start to see what this is all over here. Oh, it's almost as if somebody spray painted it. Clean out the sealing channel there a little bit. So 30. All the rest of these are 10. Right, that's pulled all the fuses. See all this crap? It's not very clever, that. Let's get some good old-fashioned brake cleaner in there. Now I'm looking for a cleaning brush. So that 30 amp fuse is just a spare. The really strange thing is there was no 30 amp fuse in any of these fittings. But the other really strange thing is those fuses are acky horrible. Brake cleaner is a really dangerous chemical. It's very bad for your health. But bloody hell, there aren't many things that will substitute it for its cleaning ability. Right. So what we're going to do, here is our fuse block. Here is a small tin of deoxit. So Deoxit is a switch cleaner, and I'm going to spray just a little bit into those contacts, and then we'll test each fuse and drop them back in. Fuse 1. Good. So what the Deoxit does is it takes away oxidization and it lubricates. Good. And what that'll help do as I'm pushing that fuse in is just wipe off any of that gunk that's left. Good. 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 And then the fuse that we took out. Good. So we're ready to put this back into the bike, but what we will do is we'll just spray a bit of Deoxit on those connections after I've given the plastic housing a clean. Right. A little bit of contact cleaner on those before I plug them back in and remount this. Don't forget that is a switch cleaner and lubricant, so it really does a nice job of looking after everything. Fuse box back into position. Okay, let's turn it on. Hopefully it won't catch fire. Do we have any side lights? No. But we still have headlamps, so we're no worse off. I'm going to leave the top off that because we might still need to go in there to test from this point onwards. So one of the other things we can check is when the bike is turned into park position, we should have side light and we should have tail light. As you can see, side light, tail light. So we know that all of that wiring is good because we can power the side light and the tail light off another circuit. So I've just clicked it back onto normal. We're on side light now. No side light, no tail. So if I click that back into park and then take that off, no. So by putting this into park, we're doing away with this switch. We don't need to have it in the side light position. It's getting power from a different source. So I still think the best thing we can do is meter the incoming power to this switch, and see if we've got incoming and outgoing. Make sense? Okay, let's do that. Let's turn those parking lights off first though. Right, what can you see? Let's go a little bit closer. So, headlamp is the green and the white plug. We have that, which I'm thinking is the main feed. Lots of corrosion around this brown, if you can see that. I think you can just. So first thing, I'm going to have this apart. I'm not 100% sure, but I would guess white that's probably ignition switch. Yep, ignition switch. So a lot of current goes through there. Okay, so I can see straight away. Let's get you right in on that. Let's focus. I mean, I know it's not in focus, but I think you can see that green. That's corrosion. And that's on what I'm guessing is the blue wire. I don't know, but it's got to be important. It needs to be cleaned. Let's crack on. So I'm going to use a file. So the rest of the contacts don't look too bad. And I don't see any corrosion on the female. So a little bit of oxide, we'll put that back together. I'm not going to disturb that white wire just yet. But before we go any further with that, let's have a look at our so let's see what all this is like. Oh, come on. Oh, corrosion. Yeah, they're all corroded. Well, right, that's that one. That's that one. That's that. Now it would be really nice, all this springs to life. So are we going to put any bets? Well, made the indicators work. Oh my baby! As you can see. Oh, sorry, let's do this properly. As you can see, we are, let's knock the magnification down, we're on the side light position only. We have clock illumination, we have headlamp illumination, we have 2 rear tail lights. And if I put you there, just keep an eye on that. What I want you to do is shout out if we get brake lights. Front. Okay, rear brake light switch needs adjusting. My bad. I adjusted the rear brake, didn't do the switch. Well, that was it. Corrosion in those little puppies. Right guys, well, I'm going to leave it like that. I need to get a new air filter. There's no point putting all the air filter box back together. Until the air filter goes back together, there's no point putting the tank back on. So we might as well do all of this afresh. Now I'm going to order an air filter. It's probably going to take a couple of days to be here. It's Monday night. So I'm reckoning we probably won't be taking this to Great Bentley on Wednesday, which is a real shame because Wednesday is some anniversary, 40th anniversary of Great Bentley meet. Would have been nice to take this particular bike. I've got the Bandit. It'll be just, you know, as much fun on the Bandit. And then before the end of the weekend, we can have this buttoned up, check out that tank sender, see if we can get that going. And to be honest, if we can get that going and adjust the rear brake light, that is just about everything this bike needs. I can't think that there's anything else that doesn't function correctly. And that's really good. Last thing on the agenda before really good service and touch up the paintwork. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed it, watching me struggle as usual. Have a good night. I'll catch you later.